Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Dr. Plurings Computer Laboratorium, where we're continuing working on the repurposed, rebuilt, whatever you want to call it, NAS, and a few other things that is going on in the computer laboratorium. I have a slight problem with the NAS, and it's the cooling of it. It's just simply not good enough. Turns out that when you populate the front of it with hard drives, this is not the NAS, this is something else. It restricts airflow too much because the fans are simply too weak to be able to push enough air through to keep things nice and cool. It worked sort of fine. We had the little mishap when I actually installed Void Linux on it. However, since then I've added the 2.5 gigabit Ethernet card to it, and it seems to be overheating. It only if I run it under load, i.e. copying data sets from the main server to the NAS, it tends to crash after like 30 minutes, an hour, something like that. So either there is something wrong with the very cheap, very crappy network card directly from AliExpress, which is a completely impossible thing to have. But in order to facilitate a warranty thing with the Chinese, they want me to film the whole thing. And it's just not very feasible. So I'm going to try and add some cooling to it, since it needs cooling anyway. I sort of temporarily at least resolved the CPU cooling, so the CPU is fine now. But anyway, yeah. Cheers, we have the computer juice. Here you go. Now, this thing, Dell Precision workstation, or 5500. This is pretty heavy duty stuff. Back in the day, at least it was. Nowadays, it's a bit what you call old and heavy and extremely power hungry. So I made the executive decision to slaughter this machine, or slaughter it, but to repurpose, to get whatever parts I can out of it. And it has these fans, for example. These fans are no joke. They pull 1.5 amps at maximum, and the thing is loud as an aeroplane taking off, more or less, when they all run full. So, and they're also quite small. So it should be possible to maybe fit a few of these, or at least one, within the NAS somewhere to help push air through, or at least get air moving around in there. Because I think there is also the optimal solution would obviously be to get good fans in this spot in the NAS, so it could pull air actually through the drives as it's supposed to, and push that over all the components and out the back as it's supposed to work. But it doesn't seem the QNAP intended for using quite such high power components as I'm now using with the 15-year-old Xeon CPU, RAM, three what you call them, HBAs or SAS controllers, and so on. So it gets a bit old, and a 2.5 gig Ethernet card, and what have you not. So what I want to do then is to get one of these. Problem is that I think that these four cables, they are standard 4-pin fan connector compatible. I don't think that there's anything proprietary going on this level. However, if we subtract, if we take it one level up, there is definitely some proprietariness going on here. This is how Dell connects this fan to the system, and that's not something that I can plug into anything really. So what I need is to get one of these regular 4-pin fan connectors onto here. Problem is, of course, that I don't have any of these lying around. I managed to find this, and the annoying thing is that I had a fan that was seized and not working, and it's been lying on the shelf for a substantial amount of time, let's say. And I just went looking for it, and as I went looking for it where I knew it was supposed to be, so I realized that I threw that out just like the other day, tops 2 weeks ago. And that's how it always goes with this stuff when you're hoarding, when you're inventorying useful things. Is that this has been lying on the shelf now for so many years. I'll get rid of it, and within 2 weeks, it never fucking fails. That within 2 weeks you think, oh god damn it, I threw that out and now I have a use for it. Anyway, so let's go and have a look at where the NAS is situated and how it is actually set up and everything. Yeah, I'm in my bathroom here. Excuse that. It's a Saturday evening. I've had a sauna. I've had a cold shower after the sauna and everything. So that's how it is. Here is then NAS. This thing with its drives in it. I think some of them are populated. It's hooked up. I can use it. It remains here to do a little bit of work in. The way put it this way, the way I turn this on now is by connecting these into here, boop, like that, and also this one then has two of these to connect. So I'm intending to build use a microcontroller like in ESP32 or one of those 8260, whatever they're called. I think it will be one of those. Holy shit. We have, that's a bit not very... fucking hell, my service tag on my Dell Precision workstation was showing there. That's not good. Anyway, we need to get this out of here and onto the bench, which is not very... because here's the Excel machine with all its connections and whatnot it has. We need to get rid of that and get it out of the way at the very least, so we can get to this. I need to go on the other side, unhook all the cables from it, and then we can take it out and see what it does. But that still leaves the problem question remaining, that hooking the fan up to a 4-pin header and everything, and getting a regular 4-pin header onto that thing. But whatever, we have to start by at least getting access to the thing, right? I have in preparation. No, that's not the right word. Before I actually started recording here, I was scrounging about a bit, trying to find the right things. But I only got so far, and then I figured if I'm going to record this, I might as well start. This thing is heavy as fucking hell, because this is not some lightweight aluminium crap. No, this is solid steel, this case. It's an Antec something or other. Whew. That's at least 25 kilograms. Where do we put this? Put this out of the way for now. Like there. Heavy. So that gives us a bit more access, right? Yeah, it does. Very good. See here. You see, I think I'll do an angle something like that. Something like that. Yes. Then I'll make my way around to the other side and unhook, unplug all of the things there. So I have to walk around the house and access access it from here. There you go. There's of course nothing in the way. It's very easy to access all of this, obviously. See here, we should unhook a few things like this one. Thank you. Go unhook the 2.5 gigabit Ethernet connection. Unhook the connector for the hard drive box. Also unhook network connection for the built-in network card, since I had that as a backup when the 2.5 gigabit card was overheating. If that is what it actually was doing, I'm not sure right now, but we'll find out eventually if we can get proper heating, proper cooling rather for it. Then we'll find out if that was actually the issue or not. Now this should come right out. I think it does. Oh, this is also pretty heavy. Yes, damn it! Oh, fucking insane person! What are you building? There you go. There it is. Hopefully there it is. If I manage to get all the cameras working here. See, I've overdone it here. I have 2 cameras. I have a separate audio device recording my voice and everything. And usually when I do all that stuff, it turns into a complete mess that I can't get anything useful out of. And anyway, there it is. There it is. And let me fetch the other camera. Hello. There you go. So, what did it here? This little thing. This tiny. Hello. Sure. This tiny little fan, right there, was enough to push just enough air through the CPU cooler to have it be happy about things. So that was good. That was definitely an improvement. And maybe my cable management down here is not optimal, and that might be hindering some of the airflow here. However, if I pull the drives out there, I get an immense airflow through thing. So I reckon, yeah, if I redid all of this cable management and tucked it in better and so on, I might get a slight improvement, but I don't think it will be enough, really. Anyway, so I don't think I'm going to bother trying to do anything about it. What I am going to try then to do is see if we can fit. Whoops. Please stand there. Thank you. And there. Very good. Remember to hook the battery back up to this camera so it doesn't die. Camera. Got an old iPhones. Yeah, but it's pretty decent cameras in these things. Even in these cheap models. iPhone 8, iPhone SE 2. It's a Touch ID that makes me hold on to these devices. So I'll probably get an SE3 too before they go off market, and they only have Face ID. Don't quite trust the Face ID. Or should we trust the Touch ID? Maybe not, but it's good enough. I think it's a decent compromise between convenience and security. Maybe. Much of the security is down to that you only get a few attempts using the Touch ID before it asks you for the passcode. Anywho, so a fan like so. Say if we could get that like in here somewhere, that ought to push a lot of air over some air over the SAS controllers. I only have 2. Yeah, but I have 3 because you have 1 built in too on the motherboard. Right, that's true. And then we can, if we take a look over here at how this 2.5 gig thing is actually mounted, you can see that it's a bit wonky because it's held in place. I don't know if it is actually in place, but it's held by these cables here. So that's not optimal, but that's what I had. And it's an it's an X1 card in an X16 slot. However, I think that this X16 slot is only a 16 mechanically. Electrically, I think it's only 8. Yeah, it says right there. X8 on X16. But that doesn't matter. What's important is that this thing is PCIe 2, at least. So we'll get enough bandwidth through this. I actually had a problem with that on the main server. That's a different motherboard. As an Intel S5520 motherboard or something, I believe. And on that one of the slots here is PCIe 1. And if you only have one, there are 4X. PCIe 1. PCIe, all of them, 4X. Great. Right? But what is the bandwidth of a PCIe generation 1 for only 1X of them? It's less than than what this network card can do. So I moved the cards around a bit and I got the full performance out of it. This is also a bit suspicious here because this, if you look at the heatsink on this one, does look a bit wonky, doesn't it? It does. So, and we have a fan header right underneath there, which could be used maybe. See if we have any other free fan headers. We have, here is a fan header too, which is currently in use by this little small thing right there. Do we have any more fan headers on this thing? I don't think so. I think we've used like all of them. Haven't we? Yes, rather think so. There's one there and that one which is in use, but we could maybe stand to lose that one or power it by some other means, really. Yes, still leaves the exciting challenge of getting a regular 4-pin header such as this one. Onto here, right? Yes, that's what we need to do. So, how to go about this then? I'm not sure quite yet, but that's what we're here to find out. Right? Oh yes. My power supply has turned off. Turn it on again. Good. I have all sorts of assortments of boxes and things regarding these things. You can move this over here. There you go. I've actually organized a bit. It might not look it, but I have definitely organized a bit. In here there's all sorts of relay boards. You call it voltage controllers, what have you. All sorts of things, and I've sorted out electronics, components. I have an entire box of microcontrollers and single board computers and whatnot. Anyway, that's not quite what we're here for. We're here to try and find. Ideally, I would have somewhere. Would have depinned one of these 4-pin fan connectors, so I'd have pins that I could put in to that one, but I'm not quite sure. What's this, for example? What do we have here? This could be useful. This could definitely be useful. Just push this box down for a bit. What do you see here? If we could focus, maybe. Could we focus closely? There you go. That has 4 pins, and it has something something here too. Hello, focus, focus. I'm not quite sure how this damn camera app is supposed to work, but there you go. It says it is a Y cable. How the hell is it a Y cable when it is one connector on each end? I don't know. It doesn't really matter for the purposes, because we can we might be able to scavenge a bit from here. See here now, this piece of it, that should fit on a fan header, such as this one. This is the most easily accessible one, so that's the one I'll try with. Right, shouldn't it? Yes, it should. It will fit there. That's what it does. Very good. Now the length here isn't all that. Put it simply. So we need soldering iron, maybe a few wires to lengthen it, and whatnot. So you can get the soldering station out here. Damn it! I cleaned my office here, or workspace, whatever you want to call this room, for days it took, and now I have completely disorganized the whole place again in just a matter of like 30 minutes. Yeah, that's how it goes when you're me. So don't be me. Not recommended. It's very, what you call it, cumbersome at times. I am rambling by quite almost an impressive amount of rambling. I'm filling the space here in betweenst everything. Right, soldering station thingy. There you go. Plug that in. There. See if we actually have power here. Never know. Do we have? Yeah, we had power. Great. You can heat up. It's nice and tight. Good. Very good. Go and this thing then. This thing then. Yes, this should go like this. So you can get this in shot too. There you go. Like so, and lengthened. Might not actually need extra length on it. It is the reason it says it is a Y cable is because it used to have something coming off there. That would have been really useful. Well, I can make it into a Y cable, right? If you do a Y cable, do you do like? Not quite sure how these 4 pins, 4-pin things actually work. Maybe you should look that up, because there's like power, ground. I think that there is a pulse width modulation for how fast the fan is supposed to go, and maybe also a return. So there's one that says go this fast, and one that says I'm going this speed. Maybe. I'm not sure, but that could be how it is. Should we look that up maybe? Yeah, I need to look up the pinout anyway to get that correct. But before we do that, what was that? Something fell over. Sure, whatever. Before we get to that though, there. How's the battery doing on my voice recording thing? Is it still working? Yeah, it says there's a smell. It's the soldering iron, of course. Nothing to worry about. It's all normal. That's how it's supposed to be. Okay. Plug the power supply into the audio recorder here, just for the sake of it. There we go. Right then, say that you wanted to have 2 of these in here. Where would you put them? And they will probably have to rest on a component somewhere. You could not get it in where this is, because that is half the width of that one. So I could not get it there. So I could get it in front here, but then I'm not sure it's going to do enough. Could maybe put it like right there, and still have this little thing there. The thing here is the amount of noise that this makes or will make is of absolutely no concern. It can make all the noise that it wants to, as long as it is working, and it is working stable. So say we put one there. That should take care of that ought to take care of airflow over the little 2.5 gig thing. And also push a bit more air through the CPU heatsink, right? And if we could have another one right about here, right about there. Rearrange this camera a bit. There, maybe. Are you in focus? Sort of, yes. There, so see if we can dismantle another one of the Dell things. Here. I bet that these actually have a value. Maybe someone needs a spare. Maybe. I don't know. The terms of me getting that Dell Precision workstation is printed on the lid of it, which I've taken off for privacy reasons. But one of the stipulations there is that I'm not allowed to sell the thing under any circumstances, but it only says that I'm not allowed to sell the system. I think it doesn't say that I can't sell parts from it. However, the value of these things might not be that great when it comes down to it. I don't know. See if we can get. I got the other one. I got dismantled quite easily, but then I was not on camera. I'm not actually on camera right now either, because I'm not in shot. There you go. These have little things that you're supposed to push down, and then they're supposed to come out. But no, not this time. Come on, man. Come on, mate. Come on. You want to... do I have to destroy you completely to do this? You know I will. I don't care about this thing very much. Because this, I'm now 2 fans short of actually getting that Dell Precision workstation 5500 Rackmount edition running again. But I really don't see any use for it. That's fine, but it does have pretty nice components in it. There you go. That we could scavenge for all sorts of things. Going to show you just when we have dismantled this. I'm going to show you another nice treat that it has in store for us, or for me really, to use for something. There you go. Put that out. Come on, mate. This wasn't so hard previously. There are like little clips. I'm supposed to. Come on. How hard can it be? It's not supposed to be this difficult. And it isn't really when you're just concentrating on doing this, but when you're also trying to make a film about it, here, whatever this is supposed to be, then it turns out to be much more difficult. Try and remove this first. Maybe I should have something better to pry with, and I really don't care if I break this plastic piece of rubbish that I have put on it. There you go. Come on. I don't think I actually broke anything by doing it that way. It seems to have held up. Right, and we also remove this piece of metal here so it doesn't short out on anything. There, and there's a little frame or whatever it is supposed to be on it here too that we should not be difficult to remove. No, but it also it has these little clips here too. There we go, and there you go. There you go. That's another one. Say we were to put this, it is going in the direction that I intuitively think that it's going, right? Yes. Somewhere around there. Preferably. You couldn't get it in between these. No. No, but that wouldn't help because that wouldn't cool. That wouldn't cool that one a whole lot. No. There, but these cables are sort of in the way. I could maybe route them behind here and come out, because they are a little bit in the way over here anyway. So say we back them out and go over here maybe and take them out there, and then maybe I'll get more space to be able to fit the fans right there. That might do it. Fine, get the side cutter and cut away. What? Yeah, sure. Oh, I have so many cable ties here holding this thing in place. They are not completely... They're not super easy to get on, so I'm using the air ventilation outlet holes to sort of hold them in place. There you go, and it's also tied to the little network card. I'm probably blocking the camera. Yes, whatever. This is what it is. It is Dr. Plurings Computer laboratorium. This is not a professionally made video thing. No, this is just me fooling around with my old gear here and so on. So this is also keeping, of course, in the... Come on, come out. There you go, thank you. Keeping in the spirit of this thing, which is spending no money on it, but just using parts that I happen to have lying about. So far, the only thing I actually bought for this is the 2.5 gig Ethernet card. Let's see now, can we back these out? That's the power cable. That is already where these are supposed to come out later, but it is hooked up there. Remove that one. You're out of shot again, mate. Yes. I think we remove this too. Get a little bit more of a clean slate to work from. There you go. Now then, can we back these out? Maybe. Seems to be coming. There's one. That one is easy because that only has SATA connections on it. The other one is a bit more cumbersome because it is hooked up to electricity and it is it has these SAS connectors on it. There you go. Now then, we might be able to do something here, right? Damn it! I have three 3 recording devices trying to capture this, and I'm always a little bit nervous that it won't work or something will go wrong with it. Most often something goes wrong. I mean, catastrophically wrong with at least one of these devices. Usually this old iPhone 8. Yeah, I made a really ambitious video in springtime when I dug a well in my yard. A sort of well. But something happened with the recording on the iPhone 8 and it was completely out of sync and out of everything, and I couldn't make heads or tails of anything really what was going on there. So that never saw the light of day, unfortunately. That's how it is. See here now, can we get this? You're supposed to go about there, right? And this one then, can you get that right next to it without putting too much strain on the connectors and cables and things? Maybe, maybe not. Most likely not. Oh, that is putting a bit too much strain on everything. So if we back it out a bit then, to about there, then they are sitting on the heat sinks for the built-in SAS controller and the south bridge, I guess. And the south bridge, it gets pretty damn hot on this board. And then the north bridge has a pretty good heatsink on it, but the south bridge has a very small heatsink on it. But yeah, something like that, and this will be held in place with just a tension from it there. And we could also maybe get this little thing in, since it was actually doing quite a bit of useful work right there. So these then should, I mean, they should at least encourage the air to go that way. We're still limited by these from QNAP 80mm things. These, I mean, if I could get the equivalent of these, but 80mm and fit the fit here and everything, and have really powerful ones that go at least twice as fast as these and makes a lot more noise, then I don't think it would have a problem really. But I've not been able to find anything like that without having to buy them, and that's not going to happen for this project as it stands right now anyway. There. Can we route these cables out? Oh, it's these sharp edges here that are now eating away a little bit on the cables. Careful. Careful. There you go, the network card is right there. It's not really, I mean, it's not secured by anything. It's only held down by the PCIe slot, really. If you look here, the heatsink sits suspiciously wonkily. That could also be it, that the heatsink is simply not attached really well to. I could remove it and see what's going on. Should we remove that and see what's going on, maybe? Why not? Au, jävlar! Aj, som fan! I just dropped the lid for this thing on my toe. That didn't hurt very much at all. Only a little bit. Only a little bit. Would you really want to remove the heatsink? Well, I don't really want to, but just to make sure that it's somewhat correctly get the proper tool for the job. Proper tool for the job, you say? Yes, but there you go. That's now free. Oops, careful. There. Push the clips in while simultaneously pushing it through the hole. Come on, mate. Preferably without damaging any of the adjacent components here. Why do you not want to go through? Because I haven't pushed it in the right spot. There, it should go through, I think. It isn't going through though. Oh, come on, mate. Come on, mate. There you go, maybe. No. It might. There you go. It might not catch or hold on to it very well when I replace it. So that's it. Yeah, I suppose that's good enough. That ought to be the business end of things. And it has an indentation here in the whatever this is supposed to be. So I suppose it does as good as it can. However, it's quite rubbish, this, I have to say. Yeah, that's what you get when you buy the cheapest thing off AliExpress. But there it is, like sort of solidly mounted. Still just as wonky as it was before. But there you go. Right, we put that back maybe. Even though it is blocking access to the fan header, which I might want to use. There. Right, so these fans then. Yes, these fans. We're going to do them to this connector. Before doing that, I have to look up how these 4-pin things actually work. If we can simply do these two in parallel, and that will work. I mean, this product that this exists as a Y cable that comes off here with all 4 of them just in parallel would, to me at least, indicate that yes, that ought to be possible to do. Right. Not sure though. Okay, before we continue with that, let's just see, check a bit more of what could be scavenged from the old Dell Precision workstation. Here. I wonder if it counts as nudity here by only being in a bathrobe. Maybe. So some cultures are so goddamn picky about the picky, but sensitive about these things. Whilst the culture I'm from is not really that. At least we didn't used to be picky about nudity and things. To hell, nudity is not the same thing as sex, right? Nudity is just nudity. You can go skinny dipping. You go nude into the sauna. It's fucking disgusting. Nowadays people have like their swimsuits on in the sauna. The fuck is wrong with you people? You're supposed to be naked in the sauna. If you can't... So calm down. Anyway, this is a pretty nice thing that could be scavenged from this. And it has 2 of these. This is an 1100 watts power supply. That takes... does it take universal input? Yeah, it does. It takes 100 to 240 volts. At current of either 12 amps at 100 volts. Damn it, why do you have such a stupid low voltage system? Anyway, I don't have that, so that's fine. Don't need to worry about it. Or 6.7 amps maximum if you want to put out 1100 watts here. Which could be nice if you want to build a welding thing. For example, if you want to weld in the data center, you could plug one of these into an welding electrode and things maybe. And it only outputs 12 volts, and then there are regulators and things in other places, I would suppose. I suppose you only need to figure out which of these pins and what you need to do with them in order for this to turn on and do its thing. But that's definitely something that I could have some use for, I think. 1100 watts, I don't know what to do with 1100 watts at 12 volts, but anyway, so it has 2 of those. It has all these fans, of course. Do we have anything more fun? You can remove the whole fan thing. There you go. Quite sturdy stuff. This is not lightweight aluminum neither. This is heavy duty steel. And we could pull out this thing a little bit. There you go. There, the back plane, whatever it is, there. So it has a double CPU setup. One of these are already missing. It is over in the NAS. The CPU is still there. I believe it is an X5675 or whatever. It's not the highest end, but it's like the good, what used to be the really good trade-off of price performance thing. Nowadays, these are, I don't know what they go for. They go for peanuts. Really. So that's not a whole lot of. That's not very interesting. RAM and another CPU is not very interesting. Heatsink could be interesting. Power connectors such as these could definitely be interesting. You never know. 8-pin CPU power connector of really good quality. I mean, this is not. Yeah, this is really well built. I have to say, this thing really well built. A bit of proprietariness going on, of course. It sort of comes with the territory of building a system like this, or building it in this way. But it is well, it's still built to a price point, obviously, but it is not badly built. I mean, just the weight of this thing. I mean, it's like must be at least 5 kilograms. This. There you go. And then you have the PCIe risers. Let's see if you can pull this out. There you go. Apparently has some cables here. There you go. This is unpopulated, but it has one PCIe generation 2 by 16 slot, and it also has a nice old 32-bit regular PCI slots. That's it for that riser. Yeah. Oh, put that away. Let's see what we have. And here is one of these 8-pin GPU power connectors. Not bad. That comes out of there, of course, the power supply thing. So if you want to use more than 12 volts of the actual power supply, I suppose you need this bit as well, depending on what you want to do with it. I probably not going to use it for powering a computer, so that's fine. There we can take that out and take this out too. What do we have here? An NVIDIA Quadro 6000. I mean, these back in the day when this was new. I don't know what this went for, but they were fucking expensive. Let me tell you, what do we have in this riser? In this riser we actually have one PCIe generation 2 by 8 and one by 16 and another one by 16 where the GPU is sitting. It is blue, and of course it has nice mounting here. Everything is really solid. Yeah, there you go. We put that away too. That GPU might have been really something back in the day, for like 12 years ago or something. It might have been extremely impressive. Nowadays, not so much. What else? And then we have the motherboard, or the main board, I suppose. It has a bit of modularity to it, but the main thing goes from here, all the way around here, all the way around there. So this, all of this is one big thing. And then there's like a daughter board right there for connections to for USB network, VGA, whatever that is, audio is what that is. I suppose you could remove that and replace it with something different if you want. And we also have this little card. See, I have not used a screwdriver or anything to do this. This is toolless. And it's well-made toolless. Really good. This? What's this? This is what you call it, like remote presence or something that you could you can use something to work on the machine remotely via hardware interface. Because this is a workstation, so it doesn't have a traditional like board management controller, BMC, IPMI, or whatever you want to call it, ILO in the HP world. Doesn't have that since it is a workstation, but it has this. Sort of does that anyway. So you could have that sitting there and have the thing standing by and ready in a rack somewhere, ready to be powered on at any minute. One drawback of this system to use it like that is that just plugged in standby mode, not running. This thing uses 50 watts. 50 watts. It uses, not doing anything, just waiting to be powered on, waiting for a wake on LAN package or something. I think this thing is powered on. This does something. You can interface with it even when the system is shut down, I believe. It ought to be that way. What else do we have? We have some custom-made things that I made to be able to plug drives in here without using the back plane, I suppose. I think it used to have a RAID or SAS controller of sorts. It also has built-in something of that sort on the motherboard because these connectors, SF8077 or whatever they're called, it has a CD-ROM via this cable. CD-ROM, I think it is DVD-ROM. Yeah, it is DVD-ROM. There you go. There you go. Anyway, that's it. So what could you just scavenge from this then? Steel. If you want to fabricate something, have a lot of steel in it. Copper from the heatsink if you just want to scrap the thing. Heatsinks for something. Doesn't say what this is. Not really. I suppose we could find the block diagram for it and look it up, but nah, we're not going quite that far with it. So now you made a further mess here, because this was in a nice little package before and you can just put the lid on and put it away. But yeah, there you go. That's the teardown sort of a Dell Precision Workstation 5500. Right. So then, I should look up... hold on just a minute here. There you go. Can have a look over there whilst I'm just taking some privacy measures here on my laptop to I want the new browser window. Let's make it a private one. And there you go. Let's see here, like 4-pin fan header, pin out maybe. Pin configuration for Noctua 5-volt fans. No, this is not 5-volt, and it's not Noctua neither. I wanted just a standard for 12 volts. See, I think I can bring you over here now without being too worried about what we're seeing on the screen here. There you go, very good. Right. I'm drawing the line this time by not having the screen recorder actually doing things too. So there we have it. What do you want? I want something. I want something that clearly and simply tells me what's going on. Yeah, I was correct. In this assumption that where is the mouse cursor? It's on the big screen. Well, come on back here. Come back. There it is. It's ground, 12 volts, tachometer, I would guess. Feeding back how fast it is actually spinning, and the pulse width modulation to tell it how fast it's supposed to spin. Does it seem to follow a standard as far as color coding goes, even though it has a completely proprietary connector? We have out of the fan, we have a yellow, a blue, red and black. Yeah, at least they're using the same colors. And since this is not a Dell specific thing, I would assume that is actually what it is. Right, so that tells me then basically all I need to know. Because we have this. Right, out of focus. And there we go, focus. Nice. And I chop this off here. Does this follow the color scheme? Not really. And also there is one cable missing. Which one is missing? 12 volt. Yeah, but you're supposed to... Yeah, but doesn't it... No. The 12 volt is supposed to be green. Or is green in this case. But that only... Well, what sort of useless Y cable would this be then? Because it doesn't provide power to... Sorry, I'm out of frame again. Out of shot again. Here. This would be the connector. Yes. And out the other way, out this way, which I was sort of planning to use, it doesn't seem to provide the actual power supply. Well, that one. Oh. If we look at it this way, the way it is shown on the picture there, can you see it? No, I can't really. If I move you over here maybe. We got them messy, all of this. Yes, that's the way it is. It's also the charm of it, isn't it? Yes, obviously, since these videos always do so really well. So it would appear that my option is to try and solder onto these really, really short ones. Fucking hell. Not a good option. But, wait a minute. Wait just a minute now. I also have this. That only has two of the wires going out, blue and a green. It doesn't seem to be quite standardized as regards to the coloring scheme. But this, if we hold that like that, the blue one ought to be pulse width modulation and the green ought to be the tachometer. So, if we combine then by depinning this and using two, because we have three wires going from there up to there, right? So we could use two of them, put them in here, and then we should be good, maybe. There's one thing that is worrying me slightly about this, and that is that one of these fans going at full speed would use 1.5 amps. So we'd be putting 3 amps through this, and it seems just a little bit weak, or not off enough gauge really to be putting that much power through it. Not that much power really, but that high an amperage through it. Right. See if we can dissect this without causing like heavy bleeding and and whatnot. So I think that blood is actually banned or illegal on YouTube. Well, here's the sketch from the networking thing I did a while back. Anyway, yeah, well, the 2.5 gigabit thing is implemented. I think I'm going to get rid of the 24 port main switch that I currently have, this one, because that is running a bit hot, and it tells me that it's using a bit more power than it should, and I can't really, like, say, the main server that I have in the living room that uses a lot of power. That's probably like 200-300 watts, but that's in the living room, so whatever heat that uses, that goes into heating the house, of course, with an efficiency of, well, close to 100%. But that's, yeah, close to 100%. That sounds pretty good. But if you compare it to the heat pump that is supposed to do the main supposed to be the main heat source for the house, then it's quite rubbish, because that's at least when the temperatures outside is somewhat reasonable, should have an efficiency of like 300-400%. You get a lot more out than you put in. So that's also something that might be coming up here on the Dr. Plurings Computer Laboratorium, is upgrading the main server, trying to make it maybe a bit less power hungry. But then the platform that I'm looking at and that I'm would be most interested in using is the LGA 2011-3 socket, i.e. the Xeon something V3 and V4. V4 is probably what I go with. Problem is to find a motherboard for that. I mean, the Chinese makes motherboards that will work with those CPUs, but they are they're mostly mini or ITX motherboards that are intended for repurposing these server CPUs as gaming machines. I need all of the PCIe lanes, or as many of them as possible, that those CPUs have, which is not an insignificant amount of PCIe lanes. Actually, quite a nice amount of them, and I would like access to as many of them as possible in actual PCIe slots on the motherboard. So there we go. We have a connector. Where's the other one? There. Great. So I need to take. These are a little bit heavier gauge actually than these, and I can't imagine really that these require a whole lot. But I don't know what happens if we put the tachometer from both fans. I don't think that we need that actually. It should only use the tachometer for one fan. The pulse width modulation should definitely go to both, so both of them get to run at the same speed. But we only get the return of what speed it actually goes from one of the fans. Should maybe work, don't know. Ought to, perhaps. Okay. I need to depin this. Whoops, sorry. Not the most stable little tripod that I have here, but it is what it is. Would you please stand up? Would the real Slim Shady please stand up? So let's see here, can we get this out? Or if we want to use this one for some reason, we're going to use this one. I think I'm going to use this one because it has pretty long cables on it as it is. Yes. So we'll try and remove here. So we're trying. What are we up to? 1 hour and a bit. Is anyone going to watch the 1 hour and a bit video from Dr. Plurings Computer Laboratorium? Not likely. But yeah, I could say that, okay, that's the end of part 1. See you in part 2. And whenever that happens, that happens. But that's not the way I work really here. No. I need to get somewhere on this. Come on. Would you please? No, you wouldn't. Doesn't seem to want to. My eyesight is going a little bit, out of focus now. So I'm getting a bit tired and such. Oh, come on, mate. You. No? Why are you so difficult? These are usually really easy to dip in. Yes, that's usually the way it is, but not in this case. Well, if we should have an end goal of this installment of Dr. Plurings Computer Laboratorium, I think it should be to at least get those two fans spinning. See if they will spin, and that could be. You ruined it, I think. The little thing. Yeah, it's like really difficult. This. Come on, mate. What the fuck is wrong with you? Okay, brute force. There you go. It is slightly ruined. Think that this is supposed to be that way, and maybe we could put it back. I'll see if I can get a screwdriver or something instead. A small-headed screwdriver. This maybe. Shelly. Got this on when I bought from a few Shelly products. They sent me a screwdriver. This is nice. These are like these electricians' screwdrivers because they have a pretty good handle on them and goes to a pointy tip and it's insulated, obviously, so you get a good torque on whatever it is that you want to tighten down. Feels like a pretty decent quality screwdriver, actually, this one. That said, though, that came out lovely. That's exactly how it's supposed to go. This was obviously the correct tool for the job. Whilst, what the hell is going on here? The green one is not really here. Oh, whatever. I'll pull that out anyway. There you go. Yeah, that was the one that didn't go as a Y thing to the other ones. Okay, can you? No. There you go. There you have it, and we need two of these. And trying to keep with the coloring scheme, we should have a black one for ground, which we do have right there. Very good. It is very, very thin, though. Very thin. There you go. And we should have a yellow one as a tachometer. However, the tachometer here is already occupied with a green one. Yes, it makes a little bit sense, in my opinion, to use yellow for power, since we're dealing with 12 volts within a computer system. So that is what we'll use. There you go. And then let's try and put this in. Should I remove this? I could, in theory, maybe, to get as much wire gauge as possible, cut this here and try and join these together and then put something on there where I could. If I want to be really fancy about this, try and undo this little clip, desolder this, get that out, and put a better cable on, maybe. I'm not sure. See here now. Hold it like that. Yellow one is supposed to be tachometer, but it won't be in this case. It will be 12 volts. If that will catch and everything and sit in there. It will. Very nice. And considering the amount of cable, I mean, I could solder a slightly thicker cable on there, actually. think I'm going to try and do just that. There you go. So then cut this about there. Oh, god damn it, my eyes are going out of focus completely here. Yes, but we try and push on through as far as possible. See my wire stripping thing. More computer juice. Yes, get rid of a bit of crap that we don't need anymore. This stuff, I don't know, a little bit of a piece of metal, could be good for something. Put that in the scrap metal pile, you never know. And then try and strip these without breaking them. Come on, thank you, careful now. Okay, these are like really thin, aren't they? Yes, I'm going carefully as I can anyway. Okay. Come on then. No. Come on. Okay, I'm going to have to bite into it a bit harder. Which I don't want to do. There you go. Thank you. It survived quite decently. Oh, if we tie those together, I really should get all of the insulation off. Whatever. Tie those together like that, and then also need to try and figure out somewhat what sort of length we need here. These, yes, these. If this camera is still operational, that is, it says that it is recording. Just in case it isn't, we turn this one around. There. So these should reach back to there, right? And then this one, I'm not going to piggyback on that. I'm going to have that as it was on that fan header, or I could put... This might actually make more sense to have that there and put that on this fan header over here. Come on. Will you please fit? This is a 3-pin thing that is going on to a 4-pin header, but that's supposed to work. I have to stand up maybe to get a better point of view. There you go. Very good. Very good. I'm slightly dizzy. Anyway, so that's there, and then we don't really need a whole lot of length because the fan header is right there. For future proofing and to be a bit more flexible, should maybe do a bit of it. See, if we take this one, that is the repurposed one that already has the tachometer and pulse width modulation thing connected. That might be long enough to accomplish the task here. That's supposed to go about there and then go over here. Yeah? Yeah, I think that will do it. Yeah. Take those out. There you go. And there. Boop. Turn this camera around. There you go. Okay. Try and clean this up just a little bit before we continue here so I can actually think. Helps me to think a lot if it is somewhat orderly, at least in the immediate area where I'm supposed to be working. This is all... No, this one is definitely not rubbish. And this one is not rubbish neither, because that will be the ground connection. And I suppose we try and do the same thing with this one. that is cutting it and then cutting this short one, joining them together. I mean, I suppose I could get rid of this and solder a heavier cable on right there, but we'll see if the cable melts. And then if it does that, I'll be sorry that I didn't do this properly first time around. But that's how it is. See if we can eat through the insulation without going too far. Come on. Ooh, that was very, very close. I think might have... all the cores seem to have survived, actually. Very good. And now for the most challenging one, which is the short one. I'm really not in a mindset or state of mind, really, to be doing precision work here. And it's getting worse by the minute. But there you go. That's not really enough to get a good joint on. Let's see if I close one eye. Yeah, if I close one eye, I can get quite decent focus, actually. Very good. There you go. What time is it? It is 2200 hours. But actually, this is one of the best days of the year because we get the hour back today, this night, that they stole from us, that they steal every spring by moving the clock around. And so if I look at the clock now and it says it's 9:20 in the evening. But it isn't actually. It's 8:20, and then it makes a whole lot more sense to me, and I get quite a decent stress relief, actually, just from that. Fucking hate that daylight saving time bullshit that they force on us. Who actually wants that? It's just fucking stupid. At noon, at 12 o'clock, the sun is supposed to be at the highest point in the sky. That's just how the clock works and how the Earth rotates and everything, and how our world works. And the clock, the time, is just a representation of how the world, the Earth, spinning, and to offset that, because for some goddamn reason that no one really can explain and understand in today. I think it is only to mess with us. It's the power, the elites. They just, we have the power to mess with people and screw with them. So let's do this. Let's change the clock. For some reason. Yeah, daylight saving, indeed. Well, the problem is that, or the thing is that when that thing is implemented, when they put that into we already have so much daylight time. It doesn't really matter. What difference does it make? At least here, makes no sense whatsoever. If they could somehow magically transform the goddamn dark winter months to have more daylight, then that would be wonderful. But that's not really possible. That would be really difficult. I think. And they can't do that. So why even bother with this fucking daylight savings bullshit? Sorry for, pardon the French, but yeah, it's a real problem for me. This. It used to take me like a week or two to adjust, and then it was fine. But as I've gotten older, I simply don't adjust. This year I've tried to think and to have it in my head that no, the time is actually not 22 or 21, 2500 hours. It's actually 2500 hours. But problem with that is no one else really follows that, and then you get problems. You tend to be up 1 hour later than you're supposed to, and then you still have to get up when the clock says that you're supposed to get up, and it doesn't really take into account that You have decided that no, this daylight saving bullshit thing is not for me, so I'm going to opt out and act as if it just isn't there. It doesn't work that way. To surmise. There we go. We have these two depinned. Very nice. Now for the little work of getting this right. Let's do this just to have it a bit clear on what we're supposed to do, since the coloring scheme here isn't really all that clear. See if we can get a blank slate there, and if I also would have a pen of some description. This isn't really very good, but it might... Oh, there we go, much better. Oh, we have... Where did it go? There we go. Are they numbered or something? Well, if we look at it from this way and say that this is... you can't see, but 1, 2, 3, 4. Put it that way. And then you're supposed to go... number 4 is PWM, and that's supposed to be blue. And it actually is in this case. And then we have the TAC, and that is green. And then we have the power supply, 12 volts, and coming out of here, it will be yellow, and it will go to something that is not... It's supposed to be red, but it will be yellow. I don't know what color it will be. The little thing, where did I put that? Did I throw that away now? No, here they are. Here they are. I might be able to get the red, find a red cable to put on here, and a black one for ground. I shall see. It is slightly yellow. It is yellow right there, in either case. So, I'll go and scrounge around a bit for some cables for this. Just a moment. Just a moment. Maybe should turn this damn fan off. It was making just a little bit of noise. But you do that here and there and there. Oh, that's quite a difference. Ooh, why did you have that on all the time? That was loud. Very loud. Battery bank is down to just showing 1 dot. But the battery on the phone is full. That's good. How are you doing over here? You're doing fine. You have lots of free space and everything there. Great. You don't have so much free space, but you have a quarter. You had a half when we started, so we ought to be good for at least 1.5 hours more. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. And see if we can find a red wire of a somewhat decent gauge, whilst not being overkill and not being too thin. Something like this, maybe. Yeah, this would be pretty good. See if we can find a black one of a similar gauge, like this one. This is similar. It is, yeah. Oh. There you go. And I need my solder. And I need my soldering vise. If you could call it that. Crappy crap. This might be what it is, but it should be working. Right. See here now. If we continue the schematic here, the blue one, where did you go? There you go. Blue one is PWM. They should go to. It should go to both. We'll do it like this. This is a fan. Now we have another fan. This is lovely, isn't it? Great. And this, they have ground. We do that like whatever, ground. Yes, I can't make it out. It doesn't matter. There, and then we have 12 volts. Then we have the tachometer and PWM. So the PWM should go to both. Like so. And it is blue all the way actually. And tachometer, we only go to one of the fans then. This is like one of the messiest schematics ever, but that's fine. And that is green for some reason. There you go. And the 12 volts is red. It's yellow for a little bit and then it becomes red. And it goes to both of them. Crosses over there and there. 12 volts and ground. Oh, this is so messy. It doesn't matter. As long as we get this sort of right. Ground there. Something like that is how it's supposed to be connected up. It's completely clear, right? Isn't it? Yeah, obviously. How hard can it be? Okay. Whilst these are supposed to sit close together, just like so, could maybe even do it like that, but then we're tied down to having this together like this. Could never like move them around in case this doesn't work. If one were to put in a bit more pulley here on the cables, so you could be more flexible. But right now, I think I'm just going to mash these together here and do it that way. Right. First and foremost, though, we do this bit. Right. So you can get a little bit better shot, maybe. I don't know. Whatever. It might work. There you go. Soldering vise there, and this one there. Right. There, and red wire. Where did the tiny things go? Here are the tiny things. Oh, this is not going to be very easy now without melting everything and whatnot. I think that we put a little bit of solder on this first. Right, am I out of shot again? I'm not completely out of shot, but I could be better. Oh, this, I think it is overheated a bit. Turn it down. There, don't want to breathe in the lead fumes. And then we take this one. Put a bit of solder on that one too. Oops, so I melted a little bit of the insulation there. That was not my intention. This took a bit more heat too. Come on, mate. There you go. There, and then we put them like something like that. Something like that. There. And see if we can just melt these things together now. Boom, something to there, something to do it. Do you think we have a decent joint? I think we might. It's good enough is what it is. There we go. We should put a little bit of heat shrink on it. Just a moment. I'm quite dizzy. Quite dizzy. Boop, 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 boop. Heat shrink. And of course I need a heat source as well to actually shrink the heat shrink, don't I? Yes, sort of do. See how the battery is doing on the audio recorder. It claims that it has 2 bars out of 3. That ought to be good, but I don't trust this. Nickel metal hybrid some bus cells really. So plug it in there, and I think my heat source should be right here. There we go. Yeah, it is working. There, see if we can get a good heat shrink, a red one preferably, of something that is small enough to actually shrink over onto that thing. This is a bit too thick, I think. See if we can get if we don't have anything smaller. Not really. Well, this one. Yes, this one. This is what you want. Yes, I'm making a noise. Something like this. Get it over like so. Out of shot. There. And do it like there maybe. It's a bit overkill to have it this long, but it is what it is. As to not interfere with the mechanism in the connector, we do it there. Shrink it down nicely. There you go. And this should go in the second one, which ought to be that one then. Would you please hook? No, it isn't hooking in anymore. It used to. See if we can't modify this a little bit to get it. There, maybe something like that. Put it in the right way around. It's still not quite catching. Would you please catch? Take that out more then, like that. See if that does it. Not quite. Come on, mate. No. Is it supposed to be? It's supposed to go the other way, isn't it? And there's a little thing on the back here that is supposed to be doing the actual catchment thing. That one. That little thing. Right there, maybe. Try it that way then. There you go, a nice click and everything. Not sure that actually came through. on the audio side of things, but I heard it and it was there and it's now solidly in place. So do ground cable too. There, put this thing in the little vise there. I think we do it the same way here. I put a bit of solder on it. Right about like nope. And let's see if we can find the ground cable that I had for this, intended for this. Where is it? Here. Here's where it is. There you go. It's already stripped and everything. You should always, you know, this when you find a cable like this that you intend to use, you should always cut it and strip it again, because this copper might be oxidized. It might have all sorts of grease on it, and you never know. But that's how you're supposed to do it anyway. But here we are in real life, and not bothered for the moment, apparently. So there, see if we can get this together too. Get these together, yes. That's sort of what I'm intending to do. There, something along those lines. See if we got a decent connection. It's not very good, but it will do. There you go, and a little bit of black heat shrink on that one. Try to keep it in shot, man. Yes, I'm trying. It's not easy to think of all these things. There you go. Shrink it on. Like so. And find the thing that we're working on. Here it is. See if we can get this in. Like the right way around this time, and it might actually catch. It is struggling. It is showing a bit of... oh, come on, are you doing it? No. No, you're not. Ah, the little pin that is supposed to catch is facing the wrong way, I think. It's supposed to face that way. No, it's not catching. I want this at least decently solid. As solid as it will be possible to do anyway. See, I throw all the other ones away, or can we see how it's supposed to be done? It's supposed to be done that way. Does mine look anything like it? Not really. No. See if we can get it to look a bit more like it. Assuming that this is how it's supposed to be. I have to bend it over here a bit then. That's supposed to be tucked in like so, and then over like that way. Is that more like it? Yeah, it's a lot more like it anyway. But this is supposed to be pointing upwards. There you go. See if that does it. Again, eyes, would you please focus on this? Worse than my camera. Now the heat shrink is preventing it from going in, I think. Not going. Okay, we remove a bit of the heat shrink. Went a little bit too far down here with it. Good thing I didn't use the expensive heat shrink that has glue in it that melts. So we can get a better tool to nibble away at this. Like this one, for example. Quality stuff. Parkside. Lidl. I actually have some good tools every now and then. Good. Decent enough. Good value. Put it that way. Not quite professional grade maybe. But for the price that you're paying, and if you're only doing hobbyist stuff every now and then they're good enough. If you're doing this 24/7, but rather 8 to 1700 hours, then this is what you want. Knipex. Refocus. No. Knipex or Nipex or however you're supposed to pronounce it. What we're after now is getting just a bit of this heat shrink away here so it won't prevent the thing from going inside the connector. And I think we might have it. Let's see. Really like to have that satisfying click that I got off the... No. It's almost there. Come on. It's very, very close. Yes, but where's the thing that is supposed to catch it? Has it broken off? You know, it has either broken off or it is inside here and I can't quite see it. Crap. I think it has broken off. Yeah, I can't see it. It's supposed to be right there. Come on, focus here. Thank you. There is where it's supposed to be, and it isn't. So can we do without it? Well, maybe. Let's see, if I just put it in like that, it's not going to stay. But see if we hook this up onto a fan header, one that is also visible there, like that one. As long as this isn't pushed out now and stays, it sort of stays. Not quite, but maybe. I think it might be good enough, but it doesn't feel quite right. I mean, you could put a bit of glue in it maybe or something to have it stay. Or you could redo the whole thing with a new one, but I really don't want to do that. What if you took a cable tie around all of this? And maybe the other ones will help keeping it in place. That could be it. See where have I put my cable ties? I have them. They are organized. Fucking hell, 1 hour 45 minutes. Yeah. I mean, this is the time it takes, at least for me. I might not always be the quickest with working on stuff like this, but it is what it is. No short, nice little cable ties in here. Yes, here we have some red ones, but these are really fucking rubbish. They have absolutely no what you call it, plasticity to them. They tend to break rather than stretch, which is a really bad bad property of a cable tie. You want them to stretch rather than... Oh, come on. Whoops, I didn't stop recording. Great. See, it's already come out. Not good. That's a shame, really. I mean, I have this one. I could use that one instead. The blue one. Yes, but I don't want to redo this. The simple fact of the matter is that it doesn't have that little catching thing on it anymore. But we do it that way, and then try and put a cable tie around all this. Yeah, I do have it the right way around. Very good. And see that it is seated as far in as it will go. Yeah, damn it, my eyesight is really... it's a blur, is what it is. Quite impressive that I can accomplish anything here. Now, if I tug on it, it will stay. So, if it is pushed slightly upwards, it's not seated all the way down, neither if you compare it to the other ones. Could we get it to seat all the way down? I've already tightened the thing, though. Come on, mate, you want to go in there as far as possible. That's where you want to be, maybe. Yes, that is indeed where you want to be. And the cable tie should be... Put another one on. These are cheap, crappy cable ties. They might work fine here, but I can tell you one thing: you do not want to use this outdoors, if under any circumstance, really. But especially not if the temperature is a bit low, because then when you tug on them like that, then they will break. Soldering iron. Yeah, I still need a soldering iron. We're going to do hookups to connecting the fans, right? Yes. There you go. There, and lengthwise, I think that we're going with the length of the cables that were originally connected to this thing. So I'm going to cut this here, right? Sure. But I didn't do something stupid there. Fans. Now, where did I put the fans? They ought to be around here somewhere. Sure. Here they are. Go. Again, clean the workspace a bit. Yes, plug power back into audio recording thing, and also check whilst you're at it that it seems to still be recording. It seems to still be recording. There you go. Put that there. There, and here, and whatnot. Whew. Right, now then. I mean, I'm not at a good angle here with the camera, but to get the perfect angle, I sort of need to have the camera in between me and the thing I'm working on. That makes it just a little bit difficult. Like if I have it... if I have it there, that might actually do the trick, but it's a little bit in the way. We'll see how it goes. Like so. They're supposed to go like that, right? Aren't they? Yes. Put them that orientation around so we have all the cables easily accessible here. See if we can also reveal the schematic. Maybe clean up the surface a bit more. Clean up, or at least move some stuff out of the way. And if we see what I want here is not really that. I want it the other way around, but then how is that supposed to work? Is that won't work? No. Okay, fine. We'll have to suffice like so. I mean, it's so messy, anyways. There, soldering wise, there, right on top of the schematic that we're supposed to be building. PWM is the blue one, and that's also the blue one here, and that's supposed to go to both of them. Put a bit of heat shrink on beforehand. Do I have any blue ones of I only have really like thick, wide blue ones. You can do anything else that is not interfering with the color scheme. Green, for example. Now this is so thick that I'm not even sure it's going to do a good job there. We do try this one instead. Yeah, and then it is actually not green, because green is a stupid choice, since the green one of this one is the tachometer. Yeah, but then I have yellow and red. Red, we're not using red, but red is there for some. What is red? Yeah, it's 12 volts. Right, and that's also what I use. No, not use red. I think that we have to go with the green one. Why doesn't this include blue ones in this thickness? Don't know. Put that on there and get that as far away from the heat as possible. There you go. Strip this back quite a bit, I'm thinking. Be careful now, because this is like really thin. There you go. Now, this was blue, which is PWM. So this should go into both fans here. Let's untangle this as much as possible. There you go. And there, and then I think we can simply wrap this around maybe, or I mean, they do have a little hole here, since they are supposed to go into pins on the motherboard, usually on the connector on the motherboard of the server. So just maybe it would be possible to thread this through. I might be a bit overly ambitious here, trying to do it that way, but that ought to get us a really good. I need a really sharp edge on this one, though. Cut off just a little bit. Yes. There you go. That will be very good. And then this one too. Oh, come on. Yes. You're through. Excellent. And then we try and do the best we can here. there, and then wrap this around maybe. There, and we just put a blob of solder on this whole thing, and it ought to be quite sturdy and reliable. Come on, get in there. Thank you. And get the other one out of the way. There you go. We will melt a little bit of insulation doing this. That's fine. I have old solder on the soldering tip. This time I actually remember to take the lid off. Yeah. There you go. So here, preferably we should have the soldering iron underneath and add solder from the top. It's I mean, this solder is wonderful. It just flows where you want it to go. It just knows where it needs to be. So we get a little bit of insulation melted to this thing, but I think that's fine. That will do. Let it cool off a bit just before we put the heat shrink on. Here's something sharp, cut that off. There you go. There. Not too bad. And there you go. And so that's a bit for the PWM. And then there's the tachometer, which we're only going to use from one of the fans. So we take that aside for that one and take this one out. And that is the green one coming there. Should we use... And it's yellow here. So we use a yellow heat shrink for this one then. I suppose. Careful. There you go. Very good. So try and twist this as tightly as possible, and we cut off the end of it to get an optimal what do you call it? Optimal there you go. Chance of actually getting it through the little hole. Wrap it around. There you go. I suppose you could crimp that as well onto there, but the solder is going to fill up all the little crevices and things and make a really good connection. There you go. And I do that, and here, yes, like so. There you go. Now then, power and ground is all that we have left. It's of course supposed to go to both of them. There. This one might be just a little bit too thick to actually go through as we've done previously. We shall see. Yeah, that's not going to fit, mate, in there, no. No, some of the cores are going to get not go through very nicely. Well, but most of them will. It's just that you don't have enough of it. Pull it out again, and try again, and to take off a bit more here of the insulation. There you go. PM, 2200 hours, actually 2100 hours. See, this I'm not sure that this is actually going to do it. What if we split this up? Try and split it up into two equal parts. Like so, maybe. Is that somewhat equal? It is somewhat equal. Still, it's going to be 1.5 amps each here. Yeah. Not too confident about that, but whatever. See, we did not put the heat shrink on. Neither. We need that too. Can I go with the red one? Right, yes we do. Come on, mate, we're almost there. At least almost to the point of seeing if these fans will actually power up and tell us the correct RPM, and if they will be spinning at the RPM that the board management controller is telling them or asking them to spin at, which ought to be maximum, which in turn ought to be quite a lot for these fans, I would hope. And yes, I know we're not getting to the actual core of the problem, which is simply the amount of airflow through the whole system, but as I've explained before, it's not really a whole lot I can do about that if I can't get my hands on some really powerful 80mm fans that will fit in the chassis. There you go, come on, go through. Just like your mates did. You don't want to. No, but you are in there, which is a good start. There you go. Come on. Yes, it is sort of happening. I think that's enough. Most of them are in there, and that's enough to just put a blob of solder on that, and that will keep it all one neat little connection, I think. See if we can get all these core wires in and around somewhat. There we go. And then take soldering iron to it and just melt a little bit. That ought to do it. There, and then the next one for the other fan. Yeah, come on, ice. I really need you. Now, there you go. Perfect. Almost perfect. As close to perfect as we are going to get under the circumstances. There you go. Very good. Very good. I don't know about that, mate, but good enough. Definitely good enough. At least with the solder added to it. Without that, it would not be good enough. It would be What are you doing now? There you go. There. That should do it. Okay, there's only ground to do as well. See if we can. They're pretty hot and also pretty solid. Now the heat shrink won't go over that bit right there. See if we can. Come on. Should have used the larger. Oops, did something break? No, not really. It's fine. Now, will the heat shrink fit over this? Yes, it will. Very good. There we go. And now then. Yes, tachometer we're not bothered about for this fan. Ground, however, we are very bothered about. Without that, not a whole lot is going to happen here now, is it? No. Nope. That was not as thick as the 12 volts. Really, it was quite thin when I got the insulation off, and it really needs to carry just as much current as the supply wire does, even a little bit more for the TAC and PWM, but that's PWM, but that's almost negligible in the you know. You forgot about the heat shrink. It's really annoying if you solder something together without first putting one of these on there. Now then, will you please go in? Oh, lovely. Very nice. And then there is one more. This is the last one. You can't imagine that the last one is not going to put up a fight. Oof, come on, ice. Come on, don't fail me now. It's the last one. Come on, mate. There you go. Almost. You got one of the cores are outside. I don't really care so much about that. That will do lovely. That will be lovely. Just get that in there, and then we melt a plop of solder onto it. It will all be great. I am somewhat in shot. However, the focus is maybe not quite right in the right place. There, is that better? That's maybe a little bit more solder than we actually need. But yeah, there you go. That came out. That's okay. Thank you for your service. Anything sharp sticking out or anything that the heat shrink won't fit over? I don't think so. It's still a bit hot. Should. There you go, maybe. Right, will you go over there? Sort of, yes. Not quite, but sort of. That might actually go through, pierce the heat shrink, but it's the ground connection, so I'm not too worried about it. Then we put some insulation over the over the tachometer for the second fan. See, I have something really thin. Yes. 2. It might be too thin though. Let's really give it a shot. You won't fit over here. Nope. What's this then? This is one step up, I think. This might do the trick. Oh, there we go. I simply put that there, and there it is. There you go. Okay, the moment of truth, sort of, is sort of here, sort of, maybe. There you go. Put that there, and then we see. Whoops. Ah, come on, mate. Yes, I need to put the audio recorder back in my pocket there, and should we have them where they're supposed to go? Yeah, we might as well put them there. Right, we can get them in as they were before. Ah, come on. Come on. There. That is putting a little bit of strain on that SAS controller right there. I think that's going to be fine. I mean, preferably you would want to have the airflow from this one also going over that heatsink. It won't really like this, but it will do something. It will agitate the air around in here by quite a bit, I would think. And that's all good. Also, haven't really had any problems with the SAS controllers. Also, come to think of it, I haven't actually put any load on these controllers. I only used the internal ones so far. So I haven't used the external connections really, neither. Not these, nor the one going to the big box. There you go. There they are. See if they, if you power on this thing. See if anything actually happens, right? Yes, let's do it. I'm still very dizzy. I'm still dizzy. Well, I'm actually a bit more dizzy now than I was previously. So let's see here if we have a network connection, at least to the board management controller. That's all we need really to speak to it and see. Yes, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's different. That's in a whole other league. Put it like that. Do we have link on? Yeah, we have link on the management controller. Excellent. That's what I'm talking about with fans, fan performance fans. That's the stuff. That's the stuff. Imagine how many is it? 6 of them going full tilt. Yeah. Right. See if we can connect to the. It's going to take a little while for the board management controller to boot up, but as soon as it has, we should know about it. Come on. There you go. I think we can actually. Yeah, right. That's it. Now the board management controller is initialized and it's set to run the fans at maximum. Right, so let's see if we can get that that in here. There you go. And we do server health, sensor readings. 14,040 RPM. Yeah, that's quite good. That is quite good. And this ought to take care of it, maybe. Yeah, I mean, there's a hell of a flow here, but that's only of marginal interest, because these cables need to come out here, right, like so. We can try and put the lid on and see what we get, if the lid will even fit. Now this is fucking dangerous to have your fingers even close to these things. But there you go. Come on. I mean, there's not an enormous amount of airflow coming out the back, but there's a whole lot more than it was previously. And I think it might be prudent to actually put the system into adaptive fan control rather than going full tilt on all of them right now. But that works like a whole lot better than I was expecting. Almost, it's working perfectly so far, isn't it? Yes, it is. See if we can get a connection to it. Can you see what's going on here? Maybe. Storage login. Root. There you go. It's up and running. I can't really tell. Get a whole lot of temperatures. Well, I can get a whole lot of temperatures, but the SAS controllers and the network card won't really tell me how hot or not it is. But I suppose we have to trust that this is doing it. This should be doing it, I think. It's definitely doing something. It's really loud. If we, caps lock, reboot it, so you can get into the BIOS and maybe change the performance around a bit. Okay, type there you go. Now it's coming. How do you get into BIOS over that was too quick. I think it is F4. F4 on remote keyboard. I think it says somewhere in there. However, yeah, we do. We go here, remote control, power control, reset server, and try it again. So if we do F4, no, don't do the ZFS boot menu thing. I said to reset it. Come on, reset, perform action. Oh, performing action. Please wait. Not sure where it. If it is actually, yeah, there we go. F4. Right, entering setup. It said great. I can play around with this later with the fan settings and everything, but damn it is loud now. Very loud. We shall see later. But that's about it. So that was 2 hours 20 minutes. If I didn't cut anything, which I probably didn't, that's not really how I operate. Let's see, it should be in here somewhere. Hardware health configuration maybe. Fan speed modes, full speed. Yes, but I want to get to the setting. Ah, there you go. PF better cooling. Balanced, better cooling. I think this is what we'll go with. And then should be F10 to save and exit. F10. No. F10. Not really, mate. Might be a problem there. Doing that on the over the serial console is probably something different. Damn it, you're loud. But I can tell you that there is a lot of airflow over the network interface card. So if that was indeed a problem, yes, and it is showing a link. One problem is, of course, that plugging the network cable in here might actually dislodge the card from the slot. There you go. From the PCIe slot. Oh, yeah, damn it. Right, plug a keyboard into it. There you go. Press F10 on that one. Are you still alive? Not really. Nah, I don't think it likes hot plugging PCIe cards. You know, I think they tend to not like that a whole lot. So pull the power out. Yeah, just bear with me for a moment here. I just want to see that the damn thing is actually visible in the operating system. This network card. Did you come out or something? Yeah, you sort of maybe came out just a little bit. I mean, that's fine when it is in place and everything. Then that's not really a problem. But before it is in place, since I need to plug that cable in under a slightly different, slightly, what you say, difficult circumstances. Now we could maybe use the classic monitor and keyboard interface to get to this. I did not save it because the board management thing is not initialized yet. That's why it is quiet right now. I'm not going to get anything there, but we might just get something here. If that cable is plugged in, it is not. Right then. Where is that going then? It's not going anywhere for the time being. Yeah, my apologies here for camera angles and what you're actually getting on it. There you go. Enter setup. See if there's anything else we can clean out here or tidy up a little bit. Anything else? Yeah, plenty of things I can tell you there is to tidy up. But that's not too bad of a work, except that you now have like a dismantled server here all over the place. I can try and put that back together ever so slightly anyway.
It's gone, so you can hear me through here right now. This is awful. We have a mouse going on. I wonder how long that has been unplugged.
There, we should be back with decent audio where you can actually hear me. And whilst that is booting up, here I have very quickly reassembled this thing somewhat. Anyway, I think it should be enough to get the lid on and to have all of this stuff here where it's supposed to be, right? 2.5 hours, god damn it. There you go. Very good. I cannot put the lid on that one right now because that is a bit of confidential information on it. That's how it goes. So I'm terribly sorry about losing the microphone there for a while. I don't know when exactly I did that. I hope it wasn't out for too long. That would not be good. There, we're down to 4.15 gigabytes of storage space on this camera and lots on this one. But it's probably gone out of sync and everything. There, you should boot now. You can maybe do that so you can see what's going on there, and that one there. Warnings of ZFS pools may not import correctly. I don't know. That's about that host ID thing that I got wrong, but it seems to be working fine anyway. So what difference does it make, really? Now, I just want to see that the network card is available and visible. Scanning for ButterFS file systems. You're not going to find any, you know. Never ever are you going to find any of those on my systems. Importing cached ZFS pools. Sounds good to me. There you go. That was not the correct password. Oh. Now you type the password out on the screen. Just a moment here. I will have that. What the fuck is going on? Rot? No. Come on, mate. Could you please type in root and the correct password? Thank you very much. What do we have in the form of network interfaces? Yeah, we do have the 2.5 gigabit card in there. Hopefully it will be working now. Still with this balanced so-called performance profile, we're getting I'm feeling airflow out the back. See what sort of temperatures we have on the CPU. It's very good, 30 degrees. The powerful fan is spinning at 9,642 RPM. Sounds good to me too. Yep, that's it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, so very much for watching here, Dr. Plurings Computer Laboratorium. We shut you off now. Thank you. So now I need to get this back into there, and get the Excel machine that is currently over there into there as well, and hook that all back up again so that I can continue with my regular schedule what I usually do. There you go. Indeed, that would be that. There you go. It's a complete mess here and chaos now. That's how it goes. I'm going to try and clean this up before I leave this to it, because if I don't, it's going to stay like this for weeks, and I won't be able to work in here, which is quite a big problem. Because ergonomics, I mean, you can use the laptop there. You can sit with that in your lap, and basically anywhere, and absolutely get your work done. But it's not really good for the ergonomics, and in the long term, you're going to suffer from it. So keep your goddamn desk tidy so you can use it tidy enough for you to use as a working space. See that the soldering iron is not too hot to put in there. No, that should be good. There you go. Right, that's it. Again, thank you so very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Dr. Plurings Computer Laboratorium, where we have now increased the cooling capacity of the NAS, and that should be that. Cheers, cheerio, good night, and so on.